Welcome back. This is the reporting tutorial part 2. In this tutorial we're going to be discussing about reports and how to view the reports. We've got first the standard side. As you go through standards, you'll notice that I've actually highlighted some of them and added to my favorites. So the first one that take some time. Please go through this, have a look, and then see what other reports you want to generate. The one that we want to discuss is the main important one, which is going to show the commission fees per consultant, and we also want to see the referred by elements. So for that, I'm going to go down to the sales by product and service details. Not the summary, the details is the one we're looking for. So you can add it to favorites as well as then click it. So I'm going to show you how to set this one up and customize it. The first thing we want to do, we want to make sure that we run it on the particular days. So instead of going this month, we're going to go custom. Remember, our sales time period is from the 26th of the prior month up to current, and we're going to group it by products and services. Let's run the report. Secondly, we want to add in and change the settings. In other words, the columns here, there's a lot of columns like memo and description that we don't need. The date, we can't really use this one. We want to use different dates. So let me show you how to do that. On the top right hand side, there's settings. Going into settings, we want to first of all remove the date. Let me just click the show more so we can see that. And we want to add in the date created instead. Then we want to remove the memo and description because we're not going to be using anything there. And we're going to add a few other elements like products and service. That would be good to see. The referred by, give me a second. Does anybody see where the referred by is? Sorry, where? On the left. Oh, right. Referred by. Then the consultant, you can add that in, but we're going to actually use a different way to show per consultant, in other words yours. So these are the ones we want to select. I'm just going to click next to it, and that's going to update the report according to what we want to see it. But there's one catch. This is for everybody in the company, so we want to actually itemize it down to your particular report. Just to cap on that, the created date is the important part. We've moved it in here instead of in there. We can change the orders of these, but first let's customize this. Go to filter and add in consultant and referred by. I'll explain in a moment why we're adding in referred by. Under consultant, I'm going to put in Wilco, so my name, and I'll run the report like that. There's one more element I want to do. I'm just going to go back to customize because I want to move this create by date to the left hand side, and I actually want to remove the referred by next to the quantity, between the customer and quantity, and I'll explain in a moment why. So I'm going to go there to customize. I'm going to click on the rows and columns, and I'll take the referred by column. I want to move it in, I think over there. I'll have a look in a moment. And the other one is create date. I want to move to the very first part. To the second part. Okay, let's just run the report to see if this is correct. Okay, so I've got create date. So this is an order I want to have it in. And we've got the customer and referred by there. Okay, now the reason why I brought in the referred by is because sometimes mistakes happen. In other words, we've got a quantity of a product. So Mr. Dievenage there purchased 2 products. I've customized it according to my commission, so it's only Wilco, me showing here. The commission amount is 50 Rand. Based on the quantity, it's 100 Rand. My balance is then 100 Rand. On that one, there's another 2 products, 50 Rand. It gives me another 100 Rand. That's 200 Rand. And so forth. But occasionally it happens where if you're looking at Elmarie Fourie, the quantity there is 0. She has purchased a few products, but we make the quantity 0 because I'm not earning any commission on her. She's earning commission. She is the distributor. So in that case, I would have earned 50, but it's 0. So the amount that I'm earning on is 0. From time to time it happens that there is a referred by client over here and a quantity over here. That means that I'm actually still getting comms, but there is a referral fee going out. So please have a look and see that if there is a referred by client here, and you are still getting the amount out, that should be a 25 Rand or a naught or 0, dependent on whether it's a full distributor, independent distributor, or just a referred by client. So this is the basic report system. Lastly, important part is we want to save this as a custom report. So let's go to save customization. Okay, and I'm going to change the report name to, let's say, commissions report. I'll save that. Now the nice thing is this is now saved into our custom report. So if I go back to the main report page, or you can click on reports here, go to custom reports, you'll notice there's your commissions report. If I click that, it will actually open it up as we saved it last time. Important to notice, for each month you might have to change the dates, but the rest is all there. So according to that, we've got commission expense, the commission liabilities, or the commission liabilities is not going to be working out like that, but it would be the same. It's just for our books, and there's quite a few other elements as well. Credit notes. So let me just do. There's also the credit notes. These are to the client itself, so it's not going to affect your commissions. The commission is indicated over here. I'm going to minimize that. That's also discounts given to the client, so we're not going to look at that. The referral fees goes out to the clients as well, so none of these elements affects us. Looking at, for instance, credit note, this is a credit note to Pamela. It gets deducted from her comms or added into her comms, where we've also got credit notes, but that is a credit note to ourselves. In other words, so let's say, for instance, I'd do a stock purchase. There's a stock purchase. So I've gone ahead and I've purchased stock for my branch, for instance. But we only take the stock off at the end of the month. So at the end of each month, the stock is deducted. So what we do the purchase. There's one bottle purchase there. The comms is there, and the comms gets included. So it actually shows in our commission. Now what happens now, a client comes along and they purchase that stock, and you make commission on it again. For that reason, then we bring in a credit note against the stock that the client purchased. So it actually deducts that stock that you purchased there. Okay, and you get the comms on the client's name. So looking back, then you're looking at that one, and there's the actual comms that I've received. So I'm getting comms on the client and not on the stock that I've purchased. Any stock that stays in the branch, you're still getting the comms on, because obviously you're getting the discount. The last section is that if the stock purchased is more than the credit notes against it, it means that we're going to be paying that stock. So that will be worked on separately as well. So just to conclude, in the next tutorial briefly I'll explain how to work in the amount, in other words the price on the stock purchased, and then we've obviously got to deduct it from the comms. So I'll do that just now.